मीडिया मी गायत्री सदाफळ पुन्हा एकदा तुमचं स्वागत करते आपल्या यूट्यूब चॅनलवर महाराष्ट्र मीडिया. आज आपण स्टार्ट करणार आहोत क्लास 10 पार्ट नंबर 2 पार्ट 2 that is chapter number 4 environmental management. See the question number first. Reorganize the following food chain. Describe the ecosystem to which it belongs. Grasshopper, snake, paddy field, eagle and frog. Answer: correct food chain: paddy field, grasshopper, frog, snake, eagle. Such a food chain is seen in the terrestrial ecosystem. There are many biotic factors in the terrestrial ecosystem such as the insect, bird, mammals, etc. The above example mentions about the paddy field, so it must be in the vicinity of the coastal lands. There is a waterlogging in the paddy fields, therefore it offers a habitat of the frog. In the above example, paddy fields are producer in the ecosystem. The primary consumer is the grasshopper, secondary consumer is a frog, tertiary consumer is a snake, and apex consumer is eagle. On every trophic level, the bacteria, fungi, and some scavenging worms can act as a decomposers. In this ecosystem, the solar energy is transferred from the paddy crops to eagle in stepwise food chain. Question number 2. Explain the statement: we have got this earth planet on leases from our future generation and not as a ancestral property from our ancestors. Okay. Answer: the earth was inhabited by the older generations before us. We have replaced them, but during their lifetime they have created hazardous impact on the earth. The industrialization, the quest for more and more natural resources, wars fought, and the construction activities such as dams, roads and bridges, extensive deforestation, etc. were their thoughtless activities. All these activities were for a development of the mankind, but most of them have destroyed the delicate balance between the producers and different levels of consumers. Due to the ever increasing population of the human being, there is a shortage of the food, clothing and shelter. To procure these basic needs, we have exploited many natural resources, causing destruction of the earth and natural ecosystem. Now it is our turn to protect the earth, as on the same planet the next generation have to survive. We have to hand over the ecosystems of the earth which are in perfect balance with the new generation. The future generations need a good quality of air, water, land along with all other living organisms. Due to the problems like climate change, global warming, pollution, droughts, etc., the environment is impacted. Thus, in order to keep the sustainability of the earth, we have to remember that the earth has to not been obtained only as the ancestral property, but we have saved it for the future generations. Question number 3. Write a short notes in that it environmental conservation. Answer: due to the natural and man-made causes, there are many environmental problems on the earth. These problems affect the existence of the various living organisms. In order to save this organism and maintain the environmental balance, there is a need for environmental conservation. If this is not done, then there will not be any quality of life for the resistance humans. For environmental conservation, the government has formulated act and rules. UN has established a UNEP for conservation program. The people's participation in the conservation movement is essential from the school age. The environmental values are included in the young minds. Conservation of the environment is the social responsibility of everyone. Justicial use of the natural resources conversion also way of environmental conservation. B. Chipko movement of Bishnoi. Chipko movement of Bishnoi and Bishnoi Andolan. Okay. Kejrali and the Jaldi is the village in the Rajasthan where the Bishnoi community is located. The name of the town is derived from the Kejri is the first event of the Chipko movement took place in the Kejrali village in the 1730 AD. In this village, 363 Bishnois led by the Amrita Devi sacrificed their lives for protecting the trees of Hejri trees, which trees are considered as sacred by Bishnoi. Amrita Devi said, if the trees are saved even at the cost of one's head, it's worth it. She was killed with the axes that were brought to chop off the trees. The three young daughters Ashuratna and the Bhagubai also sacrificed their lives for the tree. 83 Vishnoi villagers came together and villagers sacrificed their life after hearing about the Amrita Devi sacrifice. 363 Vishnois were killed as they are opposed the king. After realizing the mistake of the king, ordered stopping the felling of the trees, honoring the courage of the Vishnoi community, the ruler of the Jodhpur, Maharaja Abhay Singh, apologized his issue a royal decree to protect the trees and wildlife. Chipko movement on 20th century is the Uttar Pradesh also followed by the same pattern, embracing the trees and saving them from cutting. See biodiversity. Answer: biodiversity means the diverse life forms that inhabit any area. Biodiversity is seen due to the variety of life forms and different ecosystems that log these organisms in nature. There is biodiversity on three different levels, which genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity. This means that there is a diversity in the individual belonging to the same species species. Due to the genetic reasons, there is a diversity among the different species of organisms, and there is also diversity in the ecosystem that are present in any region. Due to the development of the mankind, the biodiversity is threatened. There are special efforts taken to restore the lost and threatened biodiversity. Some of these are the establishing the sanctuaries, national parks, biodiversity hotspot, and the reserve, etc. Certain endangered species are produced by the carrying out the conservation protect. These scarecrows. Answer: scarecrows is the green patch of the forest which is conserved by the local people in the name of the god. It does not belong to the forest department. It is like a sanctuary that is conserved by the common people and tribals in the area. It is rich in the biodiversity. It is conserved as there is a faith that god or deity reside in the scarecrow. Hence, in local language, they are known as the Devrai. Due to this reason, people do not fell the trees. Also, hunting of any wildlife is not done here. More than 30,000 scarecrows have been reported in India. Most of these are in Western Ghats in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and the Kerala. Also, in remaining parts of the India, scarecrows are reported. Role of the scarecrows is tremendous in conserving the biodiversity. Disaster and its management, to save human life from the disaster, to help them for moving away from the place of the disaster by rapid action, to supply essential commodities to the affected people. This helps to reduce the gravity of disaster. People are given grains, water, and clothes and other basic necessities under this objective to bring back to the conditions of the affected people to the normalcy, to rehabilitate the affected and the displaced victims, to think and execute the protective measure in order to develop capabilities to face disaster in future. Question number 4. How will you justify that overcoming the population is a powerful way of environmental management? Answer: population is created only due to the human activities. Air, water, soil, noise, radiation, thermal light, plastic are different types of pollution. All type of pollution affect the environment and particularly threatening the survival of living organism. Pollution must be controlled in order to have a good quality of environment. Example: when plastic is thrown anywhere, it causes a pollution of the land. It clogs the rainwater drains. It affects feeding of the animals. Plastic pollution can be completely stopped by use through proper management of the plastic waste by recycling or the reusing. We can overcome the plastic population. This would be a powerful way of the environmental management. Fourth point: similarly, when we reduce the pollution of different type of, we automatically helps to regain the environmental health. Question 5. Which projects will you run in the relation to environment conservation? How? Write the 6 strategies implemented by you for conservation of the environment. Answer: initially, assessment of the environmental problems be done. The nature and the severity of these problems will be understood by the detailed study of the same. Then the project can be undertaken to combat these problems. Okay, First point, tree plantation is one of such easier project that can be undertaken to the conserve the environment. The further nurturing of the trees will also be our responsibility. While selecting the tree, the local and the sturdy varieties will be selected. Such a trees can survive in polluted environment too, and even under the pressure of urbanization. Second point, solid waste management is another very important project that should be undertaken by every society, colony or school. Segregation of the waste into the dry and the wet types, and then its proper disposal will be taught to all the people in the neighboring areas. Third point, to ban the plastic and make people aware about the harmful effect of the plastic in another very significant project. Fourth point is the fossil fuels are non-renewable and the polluting, therefore their use should be reduced as far as possible. Therefore, using bicycle or the walking down for the shorter distance or using public transport system are the better alternatives. The awareness drive about these facts will be taken up as a project. Fifth point, to take care of animals. Stray animals provide shelter, feeding endangered birds like sparrows and allowing them to survive with our support. It also one of the essential act to conserve other species. 6 point, attempts will be made for the bringing awareness about among the minds of the everyone, so such a small acts can be bring about the major shifts in the attitude of the people. This will be certainty help in the environment conservation.